Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nishavatarakan Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaur Udaye Pushpavarat Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau Granthirarambhakori Mangalacharana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Hoya Vigana Vinashana Anayasa Sapal Nijavanchita Purana Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. Today is the holy day of Akshay Tritiya, and today is a very, very auspicious day. As you all know, there are multiple holy events happened on this day, like the appearance of Sri Parshuram, the appearance of Mother Ganges on the earth, um, and the Akshaya being given to the Pandavas. So many important events happened this, and especially this day is very good for the devotional service, so that we can do those activities ceaselessly without break, akshay, unlimited. So thank you so much for joining. We are reading today chapter 7 of Adi Lila, Caitanya Caritamrita, Lord Chaitanya in 5 features. Just to give a brief background of this, where we are. Yeah, we are two-third way into the chapter. It's about 170 verses. We have covered two-third of those. So specifically in this current section which we are reading, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Benares, the house of, anyone recalls? Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhar. Tapan Mishra. At the house of Tapan Mishra, there were a lot of Mayavadi sannyasis there. But this another Brahmana, his name is not mentioned, calls Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come to his house, and knowing very well that the other Mayavadi sannyasis will also be coming, Lord Chaitanya still accepted his invitation. And then over there, Mayavadi sannyasis, they were impressed by Lord Chaitanya's humility, character, devotion, asked him few questions. The first question was about why are you just jumping up and down, chanting, dancing? Lord Chaitanya answered that 71 to 98 words. Then the second question was asked primarily about Vedanta. Why are you not studying Vedanta? From text 101. And then finally from text 106 to 133, which that's the section we are. Lord Chaitanya is answering about what is real Vedanta, and we're discussing about Vedanta, its true meaning, and through so many scriptures, what is the Mukhya Vritti? Mukhya means the direct meaning, and the Gauna Vritti, the indirect meaning. So, and we're discussing a lot about Shankara's Sharirika Bhashya. So, that brings us to today's topic, which is text number 114. We discuss about the timeline of the Vedanta. We discuss about why Shankaracharya came, why other acharyas came, and how the transition happened. Let's see text 114. तारा दोष नहीं ते हो आज्ञाकारी दास आर ये शुने तारा होय sarvanash. So beautiful. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shankaracharya, who is an incarnation of Lord Shiva, is faultless because is a servant carrying out the orders of the Lord. But those who follow his Mayavadi philosophy are doomed. They will lose all their advancement in spiritual life. Purport. Mayavadi philosophers are very proud of exhibiting their Vedanta knowledge through grammatical jugglery. But in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna certifies that they are Maya Prihata Jnana, bereft of the real knowledge due to Maya. Maya has two potencies with which to execute her two functions. The Prakshipatmika, Prakshipatmika Shakti, the power to throw the living entity into the ocean of material existence, and the Avarnatmika Shakti, the power to cover the knowledge of the living entity. So the two Shaktis, Prakshipatmika, power to throw the living entity in this world, Puranapi Jananam, Puranapi Maranam, and the Avarna, Maya Varnika Channa, right? That famous verse is like curtain, right? She covers with the curtain of Maya's curtain, she covers the knowledge or puts us into delusion, we think. So the two Shaktis are shared here. The function of the Avarnatmika Shakti is explained in the Bhagavad Gita by the word Maya Aprihata Jnana. Maya Aprihata Jnana. Why the Devi Maya or the illusory energy of Krishna takes away the knowledge of the Mayavadi philosophers is also explained in the Bhagavad Gita by the use of the words Asuram Bhavam Ashritaha, which refer to a person who does not agree to the existence of the Lord. The Mayavadis who are not in agreement with the existence of the Lord can be classified in two groups, exemplified by the impersonalist Shankarites of Varanasi and the Buddhist of Sarnath. Both groups are Mayavadis. So impersonalist Shankarites of Varanasi and the Buddhist of Sarnath. Both are Mayavadis. And Krishna takes away their knowledge due to their atheistic philosophies. Neither group agrees to accept the existence of a personal God. The Buddhist philosophers clearly deny both the soul and the God. And although Shankarites do not openly deny God, they say that the absolute truth is Nirakar or formless. Thus, both Buddhist and the Shankarites are Avishuddha Buddhaya or imperfect and unclean in their knowledge and intelligence. It's a long purport. I'll read this and stop. The most prominent Mayavadi scholar, Sadananda Yogindra, has written a book called Vedanta Sar, in which he expounds the philosophy of Shankaracharya, and all the followers of Shankara's philosophy attribute great importance to his statements. In the Vedanta Sar, Sadananda Yogindra defines Brahman as Satchit Ananda, combined with knowledge and without duality, and he defines ignorance, Jada, as knowledge distinct from that of Sat and Asat. This is almost inconceivable, but it is a product of three material qualities. Thus, he considers anything other than pure knowledge to be material. The center of ignorance is considered to be sometimes all-pervading and sometimes individual. Thus, according to his opinion, both the all-pervading Vishnu and the individual entities are products of ignorance. Anyone would like to read this remainder purport, and then we can do some discussion. Someone like to read? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can read. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri. In simple language, it is the opinion of Sadananda Jogindra that since everything is Nirakar, formless, the conception of Vishnu and the conception of individual soul are both products of ignorance. He also explains that the Vishuddha Sattva conception of Vaishnavas is nothing but Pradhan, or the chief principle of creation. He maintains that when all pervading knowledge is contaminated by the Vishuddha Sattva, which consists of a transformation of the quality of goodness, there arises the conception of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the omnipotent, omniscient, supreme ruler, the super soul, the cause of all causes, the supreme Ishvara, etc. According to Sadananda Jogindra, because Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, is the reservoir of all ignorance, he may be called Sarvagna or omniscient. But one who denies the existence of the omnipotent Supreme Personality of Godhead is more than Ishvara or the Lord. His conclusion, therefore, is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ishvara, is a transformation of material ignorance, and that the living entity, Jiva, is covered by the ignorance. Thus, he describes both collective and individual existence in darkness. According to Mayavadi philosophers, the Vaishnava conception of the Lord as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and of the Jiva or individual soul as his eternal servant is a manifestation of ignorance. If we accept the judgment of Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, however, the Mayavadis are to be considered Maya Aparhita Gana, or bereft of all knowledges, because they do not recognize the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or they claim that his existence is a product of the material conception, Maya. These are characteristics of Asuras, or demon. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his discourses with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, said, Jivero nistaro lagi sutro koila besho, Mayabhado Vaishya shunile hoya sarvanasho. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya-lila 6, 169. Vyasdev composed the Vedanta Sutra to deliver the conditioned souls from this material world. But Shankaracharya, by presenting the Vedanta Sutra in his own way, has clearly done a great disservice to human society. For one who follows his Mayavada philosophy is doomed. In the Vedanta Sutra, devotional service is clearly indicated. But Mayavadi philosophers refuse to accept the spiritual body of the Supreme Absolute Person and refuse to accept the living entity, refuse to accept that the living entity has an individual existence separate from that of the Supreme Lord. Thus, they have created atheistic havoc all over the world. For such a conclusion is against the very nature of the transcendental process of pure devotional service. The Mayavadi philosophers' unrealizable ambition to become one with the Supreme through denying the existence of the personality of Godhead results in a most calamitous misrepresentation of spiritual knowledge. And one who follows this philosophy is doomed to remain perpetually in this material world. Therefore, the Mayavadis are called Abhishuddha Buddhaya, or unclean in knowledge. Because they are unclean in knowledge, all their austerities and penances end in frustration. Thus, although they may be honored at first as very learned scholars, ultimately they descend to physical activities of politics, social work, etc. Instead of becoming one with the Supreme Lord, they again become one with these material activities. This is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 2, verse 32. Arujya krichena param padam tatha patanti adha anadrita jushmad angraya. In actuality, the Mayavadi philosophers very strictly follow the austerities and penances of spiritual life, and in this way are elevated to the impersonal Brahman platform. But due to their negligence of the lotus feet of the Lord, they again fall down to material existence. Hare Krishna Prabhu, back to you.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Prabhuji. So, quite detailed purport Prabhupada is giving here, Srila Prabhupada is giving here. If we cover some few lessons which we learned from this purport, that impersonalism, which basically means saying God does not exist, or more specifically, God does not exist as a person. Whether this is this brand, Sarnath or Banaras, ultimately it's the same thing. And Shankaracharya, Tara Dosh Nahi. So this is, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Tara dosh, uska dosh nahi hai, unka dosh nahi. Deho Agyakari Shri Das. He's an Agyakari Das. He's an obedient student, order carrier of the Guru. Who is his Guru here? The Shankaracharya is the Agyakari Das of whom?
Krishna.
Yes, because Shankaracharya is the incarnation of Lord Shiva. So he sometimes, we see that even in, like, let's say in Mahabharata, Sri Bhishma Dev was on the side of Kauravas, right? Sometimes devotees are given this thankless task to take, they are ready to do anything for Krishna. The Shankaracharya, till date, so many people call him Mayavadi, so many people may say, oh, he was impersonalist, etc. But actually, he's a devotee, he's a Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Like, if we see from his heart, he's a pure Mahabhagavat, right? Incarnation of Lord Shiva. But to take up these big challenging services, sometimes Krishna sends his own devotees or personal associates, or these great, like Lord Shiva, great personalities, and he's in Agyakari Das. Unka dosh nahi hai, tara dosh. So we should not consider Shankaracharya as problem. No, he's not the problem. What he's propounding or what he's preaching, as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, and we discussed that in great detail, that it's like it's not the absolute truth he is giving, it's a circumstantial, non-permanent philosophy he is giving for a specific purpose, for a specific situation. And therefore, now if someone hears that, now that situation is no more relevant. और यही सुने तारा होए सर्वनाश, उसका सर्वनाश हो जाएगा, everything will be lost. So in short, we should not hear Shankaracharya's Mayavadi philosophy or anyone who is coming in that line. In this case, Srila Prabhupada is elaborating about it, about a scholar, Yogendra Satchidananda, Mayavadi scholar. So look at Prabhupada's genius. Like at that time, there were no like like Google search engine or this or that laptop. Prabhupada knowledge. He has studied everything so that he can tell us and how we can properly understand and defeat the wrong philosophies. We also learned about the two Shaktis, the Prakshit, Prakshepatmika, the energy which throws us in the material world. Prakshepatmika, Patan, from this word, Patan, right? And Avarnatmika, Avarna is like a covering. The covering on the jiva, the power to cover the knowledge of the living. It puts us into delusion. Agyan timirandhasya. We are in the agyan. We also learned about why these they have avishuddha buddhya or improper intelligence or unclean intelligence. Why? Asurim bhavam ashritaha. This is the verse where Srila Prabhupada gives a 10-page purport in the Bhagavad Gita. This is that verse. Chatur, these four kinds of asuric mentalities. What's that verse?
This one is Namam Duskriti no Mura Prapadante Naradhama.
Maya Jnana Asurim Bhavam Ashrita. Namam Dushkriti no Mura Prapadyante Naradama. Maya Prihatagyana Asurim Bhavam Ashrita. Prabhupada gives almost a 10-page purport. In 7:15. 7:15. 7.15. So Prabhupada elaborates on this Yogendra Sudananda. In short, the conclusion, what he is saying is that the Supreme Lord is a product of ignorance. That's nothing less than nonsense. So Mayavadi Bhashashun, this is a quite famous verse quoted, and this is the full verse. Jivera nistar lagi sutro koila vyas. Jivera nistar, for the welfare, for the so the jivas can get out of this material world. Sutra koila vyasa. Vyasadeva composed the Vedanta Sutra. Or gave all these Srimad Bhagavatam to us primarily for the welfare. Mayavadi Bhasha Shunye, Hoye Sarvanash. So we should not hear Mayavadi, we should hear Vyasadeva. That's our parampara. Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, etc. That's following the acharyas. Mayavadi, that's Shankara is not our parampara. We respect him. We respect him as a respect in the sense like as in this verse also. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is basically showing respect. Tara dosha nahi teno aage karidas. This is basically showing but his bhashya we are not going to hear. And actually, it's it's actually, now let's talk about the present. In the present also, if you do ISKCON disciple course, if one is truly loyal to ISKCON, if one is truly Prabhupada's follower, one should not run hither thither. Simple. One should not. There are so many Babas, so many gurus, so many this, so many that. 95% of them are bogus, and a few good ones. We're not saying there are no good devotees outside ISKCON. We're not fanatics like that. But yes, there may be 5% good also in that whole plethora of YouTube world, right? But now the question comes, should we hear them? Hmm? The short answer is it's not required. Simple. It may cause confusions. We have, it's like it's like if someone is married to a husband, right? Or a wife. We're not saying that no, be chaste. That's the idea. The idea is be chaste. There may be people of better character than the husband in the world, right? But that doesn't mean that we'll uh, break the marriage. That's being unchaste. So we are chaste to Prabhupada. Prabhupada has given everything. Prabhupada's teachings are perfect, not because we are following Prabhupada, because he is a Mahabhagavad devotee coming in the Guru Shishya Parampara. So, and if someone says, well, I want to hear so and so, he's also pure Guru, then then ISKCON doesn't force anyone to join ISKCON, right? People have choice. But if you choose something, then don't run here and there, basically. Before marriage, yes, you have the choice to choose the partner you want to choose before marriage. But once you are married, basically that's the initiation, is like the spiritual marriage. Prior to initiation, do all the research, do all the investigation. We are not saying follow blindly ISKCON or ISKCON Guru or anyone. Do the research. Follow right guru. Even if you take even hears outside, don't hear any Tom, Dick, Harry, because 95, 99% are just wrong. And we are not putting any names there, right? So make sure you buy gold. Talking about Akshay Tritiya, people want to buy gold. But in the name of gold, people are giving polished plastic. Don't buy that. Hmm? Don't understand the difference between gold plated and gold. Hmm. So this is a topic which is very relevant. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada also said, okay, you can respect my God brothers, but do not hear. Prabhupada did say that for our own good, right? If let's say you are working under a doctor, the doctor knows a lot about your history, right? For last 10 years or last 5 years, you're working with a doctor. And things are going fine. And suddenly you heard, oh, a great doctor has come, very famous on YouTube. And don't suddenly try to jump because it'll cause more problems than good. Because the history, the understanding, and everything, it's important. Even if in material life one switches, that's fine. But in spiritual life, even in marriage one may switch. But in spiritual life, this is eternal marriage. Material marriage, this husband, this wife, next life, who husband, who is the wife changes, right? Which species, what to speak of, the species may change, but in spiritual life, one has to show one's loyalty to the parampara. And that means that once we're married, we have taken shelter of a bona fide guru under Prabhupada's umbrella, then uh, we respect other acharyas, we respect other saints, especially those who are bona fide, we respect them more, but time is limited, energy is limited. We don't have like, we can't hear 24 hours. What to speak of hearing outside ISKCON? Even in ISKCON, there are so many wonderful devotees. Can we hear all of them? Every day, about 100 or 1,000 hours of lectures are being uploaded by ISKCON devotees, I'm talking. And they're all like nice devotees. I'm not talking about any Tom, Dick, Harry. Like every day across ISKCON's global platform, there are 1,000 plus centers and another 10,000 smaller kind of, you can say, reading groups like one of ours. So much content is there. So many books are there. And so many more books are coming, right? Books are coming. People are coming. Temples are coming. YouTube wonderful classes are coming. I mean, we can't keep up with that. So one should be loyal and sure. That's the point. Even in spiritual society, even spiritual society is big. Don't run here there. Just choose your careful 3 4 people, right? One should be your guru, your diksha guru, shiksha guru, right? Definitely here. That's why they are your shiksha gurus or diksha gurus. Definitely hear from them. Definitely hear from Prabhupada, hmm, or preeminent shiksha guru. hmm. Um, and then just pick. If you still need more, just have one or two based under the guidance of your Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, but don't run because there is like plethora of devotees in ISKCON. Everyone is, we are not saying anything about anyone, but the point is we have to be, selective. This is so have a handful. Don't have like because YouTube may suggest so many things, but have a handful and just be happy. Okay. And this also verse shows the destination of the impersonalists. So what happens? They come back very, very clearly. They again fall down to material existence. They again fall down. Very clearly mentioned. What else? Any other comments, thoughts anyone has in this text? Anyone has a question, thought? Yes, Prabhuji?
Prabhu, just one point, Prabhupada, in the very early paragraph, he mentioned about the Buddhist, they deny both soul and God. But Shankarites, they do not openly deny God. They said God is there, but he is Nirakar or formless. So in the last, in 110 verse, where Prabhupada also gave the big purport, Prabhupada was saying that Shankaracharya came to convert the atheist because the Buddhists are fully atheist. And Shankaracharya to convert the atheist, but impersonal form of the God. So that's one thing. I think it's just the basic one I learned here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing that point. Okay, let's quickly read 115 verse. Would someone like to read that? Yogi Mataji, you want to try?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Text 115. প্রাকৃত করিয়া মানে বিষ্ণু কলেবার বিষ্ণু নিন্দা আর নাহি ইহার উপার translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. One who considers the transcendental body of Lord Vishnu to be made of material nature is the greatest offender at the lotus feet of the Lord. There is no greater blasphemy against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami explains that the variegated personal feature of the Absolute Truth is the Vishnu Tattva, and that the material energy which creates this cosmic manifestation is the energy of the Lord Vishnu. The creative force is merely the energy of the Lord, but the foolish conclude that because the Lord has distributed himself in an impersonal form, he has no separate existence. The impersonal Brahman, however, cannot possess energies, nor do the Vedic literature state the Maya. The illusory energy is covered by another Maya. There are hundreds and thousands of references. However, to Vishnu, Maya, Parasya Sakti, or the energy of Lord Vishnu. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.14, Krishna refers to Mama Maya, my energy. Maya is controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is not that he is covered by Maya. Therefore, Lord Vishnu cannot be product of the material energy. In the beginning of the Vedanta Sutra, it is said, Janmadi Asi Ataha, indicating that the material energy is also an emanation of the Supreme Brahman. How then could he be covered by the material energy? If that were possible, material energy would be greater than the Supreme Brahman. Even these simple arguments, however, cannot be understood by the Mayavadi philosophers, and therefore the term Maya Parahata Jnana, which is applied to them in the Bhagavad Gita, is extremely appropriate. Anyone who thinks that Lord Vishnu is a product of the material energy, as explained by Sadananda Yogindra, should immediately be understood to be insane, for his knowledge has been stolen by the illusory energy. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Is there anyone else who would like to read? Poli Mataji, on try.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll go ahead and read. Hare Krishna. Lord Vishnu cannot be placed within the category of the demigods, those who are actually bewildered by the Mayavad philosophy and are still in the darkness of ignorance consider Lord Vishnu to be a demigod. In defiance of the Rig Ved mantra Om Tad Vishnu Vishnu Paramam Padam, Vishnu is always in a superior position. This mantra is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, Mahatta, Parataram Nayat. There is no truth superior to Lord Krishna or Vishnu. Thus, only those whose knowledge has been bewildered considered Lord Vishnu to be a demigod and therefore suggested that one may worship either Lord Vishnu, the goddess, Kali, Durga, or whomever one like and achieve the same result. This is an ignorant conclusion that is not accepted in the Bhagavad Gita 9.25, which distinctly says, Yanti Deva Varta Devan Yanti Mad Yajono Pi Mam. The worshippers of the demigods will be performed to the respective planets of the demigods, but devotee of the Supreme Lord will go back home, back to Godhead. Lord Krishna explains very clearly in the Bhagavad Gita 7.14 that his material energy is very difficult to overcome. Devai he yes isa guna maya mama maya durataya. Maya's influences is so strong that even learned scholars and spiritualists are also covered by Maya and think themselves to be a god, to be a good as supreme personality of Godhead. Actually, however, to free oneself from the influence of Maya, one must surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Krishna also states the Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Mam yava e para padayante mayam itam maranti te. It is to conclude, therefore, the Lord Vishnu does not belongs to this material creation, but to the spiritual world. To misconceive Lord Vishnu to have a material body or to equate him with the demigod is the most offensive blasphemy against Lord Vishnu, and offenders against the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu cannot advance in spiritual knowledge. They are called Yaparata, Jana, or those whose knowledge has been stolen by the influence of illusion. One who thinks that there is a difference between Lord Vishnu's body and his soul dwells in the darkness religion of ignorance. There is no difference between Lord Vishnu body and Vishnu soul, for they are Advaita Jana or knowledge. Jnana or knowledge. In this world, there is a difference between the material body and the spiritual soul. But the spiritual world, everything is spiritual and there are no such difference. The greatest offense of the Mayavadi philosophers is to consider Lord Vishnu and the living entities to the one and the same. In this connection, the Padma Purana states Arki Vishnu Srila Dhir Gurushu Nara Matir Vaishnava Jati Buddha Yasa Va Naraki Sa. One who considers the Arka Murti, the worshipable deity of Lord Vishnu, to be stone, the spiritual master to be an ordinary human being, and the Vaishnava to belong to a particular caste of creed in process of hellish intelligence. One who follows such conclusion is doomed. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji and Pali Mataji, for reading this wonderful verse, text 115. which is again reinstating the point that who considers the Supreme Lord to be a product of matter, Prakrita Koriya, Mane Vishnu Kalevar, is just, a product of matter, ignorance, even any material product. Vishnu Ninda or Nahi Ihar Upar. There's no, इससे ऊपर कोई निंदा नहीं, right? There's no, like, calling the Supreme Lord, who is pure Satchidananda Vigraha, calling him a product of matter. It's like the greatest insult, in short. So that's something which should never be done or heard, or the people who have such mentality, we should not even associate with them. Very, very clear. Maya, and Prabhupada gives so many verses, so many shlokas to prove that how Maya is the energy of the Supreme Lord. Maya, Mam Maya, Duratyaya, 714. Devi Yesha Gudamai, Mam Maya Duratya, Mam Evi Prapadyante, Maya Mitam Taranti. Like, consider one example. A big millionaire is hosting outside of his bungalow, in India, very, very rich person, a free food stall. Anyone who comes will get free food. And guess what will happen? Hundreds of people, thousands of people gathered. There was like huge 5, 7 varieties of nice food, sattvic food, and hundreds and thousands. There was a huge queue, like a 1 mile long queue. And most of them, like free food, they're not very wealthy people. So they're from, simple backgrounds or poor people, some beggars also there, some not so wealthy people were there. Okay. Anyone and everyone was welcome. So this gentleman, who is the owner of this house outside his house, this free feast is going on. He has paid all. He has paid for the cooks, the arrangements, this, that, anyone and everyone. He has arranged it, and he comes out to see how things are going. And just think about, just to give you a. So there was the food distribution. Different things are kept. And here people are standing. 1, 2, 3, 4. A big queue is there. Hundreds and hundreds. This goes on. Big, big queue. And suddenly this gentleman comes to talk to, a person. And everyone, all these people are saying, hey, don't cut the line, don't cut the line. We have been waiting here for 2 hours. Don't try to like sneak in. Go back, go back, go back all the way. So what happens? They are unaware. They are unaware. Their knowledge is covered. Maya aprihata jnana, that this person actually is not a beggar like us who is looking for free food. This person is actually the one who is curing our hunger. But they don't know who is cooking. I mean, he's not personally, his energies are working. Mam Maya, right? Krishna says, my energies are working. So there are a lot of people cooking the food, a lot of people distributing the food, a lot of people got the grocery. but he paid all the bills under his direction. Mamyamya prapadyante, mayamitam. So if someone takes shelter of him, what to speak of their hunger, they're like, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur gives this example. If by worshipping someone, our material modes, our ignorance will be destroyed, how can that person be in ignorance? Right? Our kama, krodh, lobh, moh, all these lust, anger, greed. By hearing Krishna Katha, our lust, anger, greed, envy is destroyed. How can Krishna be under the influence of lust, anger, greed? Even if he's doing Rasa Lila, or stealing pastime, or cheating pastime, or he's playing with his friends, even Brahma got confused, Indra got confused. So it may seem, what to speak of Mayavadis, they don't have even proper bona fide knowledge. So even great souls get confused. But Krishna is beyond all this. Krishna is the one who is running. Mayadhyakshina prakriti suyate sacharacharam hedunani nakonteya jagat vipari vartate. Mad bhayat vati, right? The sun moves under my fear. The wind moves under my fear. The sun, moon, all these planets, galaxies, stars, everything is moving under his direction. So how can he be under the direction of Maya? No. So that's the essence of this verse. And of course, one very important point, one should not put him in the category of demigods. How many gods we have? Oh, we have many gods, this, and of course Krishna, Rama, Chandra, Indra, Surya, all these are gods. No, that's actually also an offense. So Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then the last, this is also Acharya Vishnu Shila Dhi Guru Shu Naramat. So considering as ordinary, like a Shila to be an ordinary stone, Arche Vishnu Shila, one who considers the Archa Murti to be like stone. One who considers Guru to be like Naramatra. Oh, there are many people, Guru is also one of them. He also has two hands. I also have two hands. What's the big deal? That's offensive. He may have two hands, but he is a pure soul. It's like the body, the externals may look same, the two eyes, the two hands, etc. But his spiritual potency, one cannot see that by naked eyes. One has to have the eyes of devotion, respect, awe and reverence. Similarly, thinking Vaishnava Jati Buddhi. Oh, this is Russian Vaishnava or Ukrainian Vaishnava, American Vaishnava. Oh, this Vaishnavas are better. This Vaishnavas are doing this. Not considering jati, caste, color, creed, externals, oh, this Vaishnava has a better color of skin or better color of hair or better height, better weight. This is all jati buddhi on bodily distinction. Or women are better, or men are better, or this country people are, Vaishnavas are better. No, Vaishnava is Vaishnava. Vaishnava is known by the qualities, not by the body. Not by externals, not by the color of skin, not by the country they're born in, not by their bodily height, weight, color, hair, etc., or gender. It's all by qualities. All these are considered hellish. Any other comments anyone has in this text? Any questions before we pause on the day of Akshaya Tritiya? So, in short, we can only know Krishna through bhakti, not through speculation, not through gyan, not through, because he is covered. He opens the door when one approaches through bhakti. When one approaches through bhakti, Krishna will open the doors to know him. We cannot know Krishna through we cannot demand, hey Krishna, I want to know you. No. He will reveal when he chooses to reveal. And when he will choose to reveal, when he sees our sincere bhakti, then he will choose. Because he's sold out by bhakti. Bhaktya tavananya shakya. Bhakti baddham. Right? He's bound by the ropes of love. When we approach with humility, approach with surrender, under the guidance of a bona fide Guru, Vaishnav Guru, then he will certainly reveal himself. So with that, we will pause and pray to Lord Krishna on this day of Akshaya Tritiya, which is a very, very holy, auspicious day, so that we can render unalloyed prema bhakti, and may it flow like the river Ganges. Today the Ganges also appeared and reach its eternal destination, that means Krishna's lotus feet. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Jagadguru Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya eva cha, Dhanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.